I'd like to go back to the idea of what you're saying about soft power. I think if we recognize how important that is, if you look at how America has spread soft power around the world, the Japanese have done that, and then now the Koreans have done that. But if we see that as how using culture, using arts, we can actually spread our influence around the world, and that could actually have inherent benefits, tertiary benefits in terms of economics, in terms of business, in terms of finance, in terms of tourism. If we start to see those benefits, then you will see that the government will take, part in it. You will see that the private sector will definitely want to hop in. I think we have to start to see that big power that we can actually have using culture and the arts.
Carolyn, what do you think?
Demand is definitely important because we might be in an age where perhaps maybe the artist and the consumer can decide how this moves forward, for example. So that's why it's absolutely necessary to start fostering and nurturing that culture of value for the arts.
Charmaine, you want to jump in on this?
I agree. I agree that we need a lot of support from home ground. We need company, private entities to recognize that, credit is not just everything. I mean, I've met a lot of big companies who love our work, but they're unwilling to pay for it. So, because they think that credit can just feed us, but without the money, we're unable to move further. So I think there's really a lot of the chicken and egg issue right here. Without this, we can't move on, etc., etc.
But it sounds like it's a very selfish approach to a certain extent. They're still looking at how's it for me, But we need to move on to that larger scale, right? Like we mentioned earlier, the soft power. I mean, so how can we get there? How can we, take it to the next level?
It's about building a lot of national pride as well. Yes. As much as we sort of think there's baggage there. I was in Singapore for 2 days last week, and there was a delegation of Koreans that flew into Singapore who wanted to screen my film as part of an ASEAN film festival, and they wanted to invite me, they wanted to convince me to fly there to showcase my film. But we spent most of the meeting with them telling me the benefits of kimchi and how well the Korean team will do at the World Cup this year. I mean, they were here to try to win me over, but actually they were selling me Korea all this time.
Right.
So if you tell me where the soft power of Korea comes from, I think it really comes from every individual in the country who feels very proud of their technology, of their brands, of their culture, of their music, of their design.
So each one of us is an ambassador, basically.
That's right. I feel that for us to get to that level that we're talking about, there's going to be two things that we need. One is, as Anthony mentioned, a lot of local pride is really required, and the second would obviously be funding. And funding is important because arts is something you need money to start with. And the problem is that a lot of the problems I see is that they don't have money and they start doing things unrelated to earn that money, thinking that, okay, I'm going to earn that money by, for example, if you're in music, I'm going to earn by teaching. You spend your whole week teaching. End up you don't spend time on your own craft, and now you've got the money, but you're not putting in the hours in the craft.
And they probably wouldn't have to teach that much if they were actually getting paid for the gigs they were performing at, right? So it's a bit of a vicious cycle.